Well, it's Memorial Weekend in Ohio, 2025, and I know a lot of people are over in Indianapolis right now watching some cars zoom. But if you're here, I want to encourage you to come to Coshocton County to one of the annual Flint Knap-Ins. And I'm just lucky enough to have somebody that knows a little bit about it. You've seen him, you've met him earlier on our videos, but boy, it's a joy. He's a friend, he's one of the real deal. And so, Roy, brother, give me a shake.
Right.
It's good to see you this morning.
Yeah.
So what I'd like to do is have Roy tell you a little bit about this Knap-In, because it's been going on for a while, hasn't it?
It's been the early 80s. We started out at Mason's Campground right next to the Flint Ridge Park. And it kept growing and growing. And finally, the Mason's Campground people said, well, we're getting older and we need to stop doing this Knap-In thing because it was getting too big. So we got connected with the state park and they invited us over there. So the thing that we started out was we promoted it as educational for school kids. And that's what we did all the time we was at the park. We had funded school bus loads of kids came in there, and it was just awesome.
Now this isn't at Flint Ridge Park. This is, oh, okay.
Well, we and at Mason's we moved to the Flint Ridge Park in '95, and that's when we did the thing for the school kids.
Okay, let me make a comment. I'm not getting fresh or personal with Roy, and I'm not going to give him a kiss. But I've got my microphone right here, so you can hear him. He's talking with such a gentle voice. But I really want you to get the scoop. This has been going on for a while. If we look around, Roy, as we look around, would you guess there are people here from out of state?
There are, yes. And in the fall, there will be even more.
Okay.
The fall Knap-In is a little bigger than this one usually.
Okay. So from Flint Ridge, why did you end up here?
Oh, they kind of changed directions. They felt that they didn't need the nappers to drive around on their grass and stuff. So
in my book, that means they got thrown out.
Kind of. But and then when we moved here, we had to kind of start over because of all the public. They didn't come with us as much, but now it's starting to build up here. So it'll be pretty good.
Well, how many people do you think are set up here today?
Probably right around 40, 45.
And do you think it pretty well represents Ohio?
Yes, yes.
Well, let me ask you a question. This is officially, it's a Flint Knap-In. What is it? What does it mean, a Flint Knap-In? What is a Flint Knap-In?
It's just where all the people from all around come here to make arrowheads and to get their materials. All kinds of different materials from Texas to Ohio. And you find out that there's so many different materials. Like Texas probably has more than all the rest of the states together. But that's why they come here mostly. And the nappers, that's what they come for, is for that material for the year. And especially in the fall, they come here to get their supply for the winter.
Okay. Roy, can you tell me a little bit? This is your booth, right?
Yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
What do you do at your booth? What do we have here?
Well, we have the modern art, modern lithic art, and we...
Do you know the guy that made these?
Yes, the guy from Medina.
Yeah. Okay.
We're in these people promote us a lot. Coshocton, Business Coshocton, they're very helpful, and we run an ad in here, and I'm not sure what page it's on, but it's I don't know if I can find it.
Is this like a tourist guide that they give? So people could request this and find out more about the Knap-In, right? Yeah. Okay.
The mayor was on yesterday talking about it.
Oh, good promotion.
Yeah, and the motel, they talk about us too. There we are.
Okay, well, let's hold that up.
So we're in business every year, and
So here's a good question for you. How long have you been making arrowheads?
well, it's been probably about 45 years, and too long. That's the only answer I got.
And you still have both eyes, both ears, and both hands.
Yes, I got scars, but we've survived them.
Yeah. So Roy, we just got here, and I'm so glad that you guys are following us today. But we're so much to see. Is there any place? Of course, we want to see everything. But is there an area that you want to recommend us to go to next to maybe get a little bit of video action?
This here is probably as good a area. You'll see just different types of people, different states from all over that are making arrowheads in their own way. And the guy from Millersburg there, he has a lot of this obsidians and all kinds of rare rocks.
Now, we do want to film a little bit of somebody making an arrowhead, because when people are out walking in the field, if they can find that retouch flint and that primary, secondary chips, then they'll know what's going on, right?
Yeah. And then these guys here were doing it here just a little bit ago. Now you can ask them, they'll go back to doing it again.
All right.
These guys do too down here. They do a lot.
All right. Well, what we'll do is thank you for taking a minute with us. We're just going to walk around, and we're going to just shoot a lot of stops and goes, because we'd like you to see what's going on at this Knap-In in Ohio. And maybe you can join us next year. That'd be wonderful.
Yeah,
Thanks, Roy. I appreciate you. Thanks. All right. We'll be back in a minute. There is so much to see, and that's one of the really great things about this, is that you can take your time, probably a good part of a day, to walk and see what's here, but then to meet people. So what we're doing right now, we're just swooping a little bit to let you see how the booths are set up. You've got people that have been coming for years. You got people that are seeing each other for the first time in a year. If you look on the ground, you're going to see a lot of flint laying on the ground on these sheets. And what you're actually seeing are, hey, Skeet, how you doing, brother? What you're seeing are what we call preforms, maybe first stage, second stage preforms. And a lot of people come to these Knap-Ins to get preforms of flint from Texas, from Washington State, New York, Jasper, all kinds of stuff. So it's fun to look through the preforms because you're going to see a wide range of flint and different minerals that they made arrowheads out of that you just aren't going to see in your backyard or even in your area of Ohio or your part of the world, California, wherever you're from. And greetings to all you guys in Ireland that are watching us. Yeah. Anyway, so we're just going to do a lot of swooping around, and we'll zoom in and show you some specifics. But one of the nice things to do, guys, when you come is there's a lot of stuff made out of flint. Jewelry that you can pick up for your wives and your daughters. There's just boundless of material. So again, what you're going to see, a lot of people are here looking for preforms. I'm going to just ask you a quick question,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You don't mind being on camera, do you?
No.
Okay. All right. I just made a new friend, and your name is?
Joey Cook.
Joy?
Yeah, Joey
Okay.
Cook.
Where are you from?
Boone County, West Virginia.
Boone County was, you know what? My kinfolk were from Spencer, West Virginia.
Okay.
So we're friends, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What are you looking for? You got a bucket? You're walking on. What do you got right here?
That Mississippi church.
Let's show them.
It's been heat treated.
It's Mississippi? From Mississippi?
That's what he said. I ain't tried it yet.
Now, are you going to be napping with this?
Yes, I'm gonna try it.
How long you been napping?
About 2 years.
You have both eyes, both ears, and you still have fingers, right?
Yep.
So
far.
You haven't cut them off yet.
No.
So what are you looking for?
Anything exotic. I like colors. My wife likes colors, so and easy to nap.
All right. Have you met Roy Miller?
Yes.
Roy is a lot of integrity. He knows what's going on, and he can point some stuff out for you.
Okay. Yes,
All right. My name is Mark.
Nice to meet you, Mark.
I have a YouTube channel, if you can remember this. Field Archaeology 101.
Okay.
You're famous. You're on there.
All righty.
Okay, thanks, Roy.
Thank you.
Take care, brother.
You have a good day.
Okay, we're going to continue walking around, and hopefully you'll enjoy some of the candid, I'm nuts, but you'll get a chance to enjoy our day with us. the people you meet at places like that, this you least expect. For example, we have Crocodile Dundee, or no.
Everyone.
Skeeter, who do we have here?
Welcome to the
We have Warren Whitmer.
2025
Who?
Warren Whitmer.
All right.
He's probably the first person to turn flint
I'd like to
napping
welcome
into a
everybody.
lapidary
Thanks
art.
for coming out. Thanks
He's been doing it for many, many years.
Warren,
and
it's
he's,
nice to meet you, sir.
taught
Good
my
to
wife
meet
Joyce
you.
how to do all this stuff,
We're gonna have
and
one
we are
demo
promoting
by
him
Andrew
as
Fitzpatrick on
one of the
beginning
greatest
flint
lapidary
napping.
people there is.
So, Warren, how long ago did you
And then
start
Warren
napping
will
and
have
working
a
with
advanced
Flint?
Napping demonstration following. So he's going to start
Probably
here in about
60 years
15
ago.
minutes.
60 years ago.
And,
Most of the
Warren will
people
take
that are
over
watching this are not
and
60
have
years
that.
old.
Hopefully about 12:30
So
we'll
tell
have
me
the
what you
main
did. What
speed.
is this? What are we looking at here?
2:30.
Well, I have a nice collection of artifacts
So enjoy the show.
that I've found.
Thank goodness we got
And
one
so
more weather never
when I found the flint,
I'll call out
I
there in a couple
I
minutes for the
thought I'd
time
polish it instead of
basic
napping it.
demo.
So I polished all the flint that I worked over the years, and I had a
Anyhow, I forgot
wonderful
one thing. Bring a chair. Bring
hobby.
your favorite chair
Well,
up here so you can
Warren, let
watch
me
the
ask you this.
demonstration.
Is it a fair question to ask, are you one of the first people to take flint and turn it into jewelry?
no,
Okay.
no. There are people from Dover and some of the other places that I met that did it long before I did.
All right, but they inspired you.
Yes, a man by the name of Calendine really got me started. I bought flint jewelry for my mother at the Star County Fair, and
Okay.
he and a bunch of people from Dover were polishing and making jewelry.
Now, are you originally from the Dover area?
I'm from Canton.
Canton. You know, there was a museum down there, the Warthour or Museum.
The Wethers Museum, Carver.
Are you familiar with him? And
Yes,
did you see his artifact collection?
some of it.
Some
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Skeeter, you were saying there's something that he made famous over there. Maybe
Yes.
we could hold up or show the people some of his stuff.
He's really famous for his bolos, which I probably should have mine on right now, but I don't. But he's famous for bolos and also his knives. This is not his, but he taught my wife Joyce to make this. And this is what his knives would be, and he put beautiful handles on them, and did a master job at doing these knives. Made hundreds of them, didn't you, Warren?
I made quite a few.
But that is one of the things he's done, and he's really his whole life he's promoted Flint Ridge and their jewelry. This is our
Well, I like these.
Ohio gemstone. Since 1965,
Look
Gilbert
at
Diller promoted.
look at these, and of
Well, I
course,
think, Warren, that you're the only one that's done the arrowheads. Is that correct?
Yeah.
you're the only one that did the arrowhead jewelry.
I don't know that, but I made a lot of it.
Okay. All right.
Not polished.
Well, these are, of course, most special to me, and some of you know that about me. Warren, this is great.
I polished enough to put 3 kids through college.
Is that right?
Yeah, I'm a carpenter by trade.
Uh-huh.
Took it out west.
All right. Well, Joyce and Skeeter, thank you so much for letting us come to your setup. Warren, it's great to meet you. We're going to go out and walk
Well,
some
thank
more,
you.
okay?
Yeah,
95 years old.
yeah.
Holy smokes. I hope I check out before I'm 95.
I wish I could still do this.
Thank you so much. This is a treasure.
Thanks,
Thank
Skeeter.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Joyce. Thank you.
so much.
This is the fun of Knap-Ins, isn't it? Seeing
It is.
old friends and helping each other out.
That's why we come
Okay.
for our friends.
I want to know if that's a 1-speed, 2-speed, or a 3-speed.
I don't know. It's 1 speed anymore, I guess.
Okay. All right, you guys. Have a great day. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
I'll catch you later.
All right. I told you that we were going to walk around and just meet different people who love what they're doing. And I found a youngster here who tells me he's been napping, what, in the last few years?
About 3 years.
And your name is?
Jim Collins,
Jim Collins from where in Kentucky?
Louisville.
Louisville. How do you pronounce that?
Louisville,
That's if you're from Kentucky.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Is it Louisville if you're from Ohio?
Louisville.
Louisville. Okay. All right. What you doing, brother?
I'm just working on a preform here.
A preform. Okay.
Trying to get it leveled out. so
All
that
right.
ain't so wonky.
So wonky. Okay. Well, here's the deal. I'm talking to a lot of field walkers right now, and they're finding debitage in the fields.
Yes.
And I would like them to learn when they look at their debitage to be able to visualize what's going on with the preforms and what the prehistoric people are doing. So, can you tell us a little bit what you're doing, and how you're going to get rid of this lenticular surface
Well,
here?
I tried it. I felt like I want to take this piece out here. I'm trying to raise that edge up to it's over here on the high side or low side. When I flip it over, I take that flake off.
Okay.
It should take that high spot out.
Got it.
That's what I'm.
Promise me you're not going to use any 4-letter words if this doesn't work.
No.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see what you got.
Like I said, though, I'm just starting to learn.
How long you been doing this?
About 3 or 4 years.
Oh, you're a newbie.
I'm newbie. Yeah.
That's great. What is this material?
They call it Buffalo River.
And it's from where?
I'm not for sure. Buddy of mine gave it to me. Goes, here, see if you can straighten that out and make something with it.
Probably North America.
Most likely.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know exactly where it's from.
Now, when I'm walking my fields, I find what we call hammerstones.
Okay.
And I don't think the prehistoric people had this. What are you doing here?
I'm using copper. It's soft, like a hammerstone.
Okay.
It grabs a hold of the flakes and pulls the flakes off easier.
Right.
And they did use copper. Some of them, the Indians did.
Okay.
From making arrowheads.
And is this if people you don't like come over here, you what is this?
Smack them in the hand with it.
Okay. All right.
That's indirect. That's when I want to get a more precise, smaller flake. I use this.
Okay.
Take a flake right there.
Oh my gosh. I see what you're doing. So you're hitting this and this is doing this.
Right.
Does that give you more control of the flake removal?
It does. It does.
All right.
Yeah, I'm putting it more directly where I want it. It's less chance of me hitting over here or hitting here.
Okay,
you know?
got it.
And it peels smaller flakes off, though.
Boy, that's a beauty. That good thinning flake there.
But yeah.
Now, a lot of the field walkers in my area where they hunt paleo, we're calling this a lenticular area, removing flint off from side to side to bring it down this direction like that.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get them to recognize those. So when they're walking their fields, they'll know if they're on a paleo site, the 10 to 14,000 BC,
right,
versus maybe the Hopewell, Adena, or late woodland like that. I notice this is pretty sharp here.
Yeah, it's you can cut some good meat with that right there, the way it is. I mean,
including fingers.
Yeah, I've got a few nicks myself.
All right.
Somewhere.
Oh, I see that. Oh my gosh. All righty.
Yeah, it'll sit right in you.
You know what? Thank you for letting us visit with you.
No
Kudos to everybody in Kentucky. And we'll stop back a little bit later and see how you're doing here, okay?
All right.
Thank you so much.
You have a good day.
Hey, this is really great. And I want you all to come over here and just take a look at all this stuff on the ground. There's a wide diversity, and this reminds me of my village sites in Coshocton County. The wider the diversity of flint that I find, the more I know I had people camping and villaging from a long distance coming together. And this guy has been doing this for a couple of years. Yeah. So let me meet him. I want to see what he's got here. My name is Mark Hirschman.
I'm Eric Morris, Eric's Rocks and such.
Eric.
I'm from Indiana.
All right. Well, Eric, what are you doing here, brother? What's going on?
Well, I sell rocks. This is what I do for a living. And I have a rock shop in southern Indiana and a
What
little
town?
town, Leavenworth, Indiana. It's very bottom of the state, about 45 minutes west of Louisville, Kentucky. And but on the Ohio River, very beautiful place, and big hills, lots of caves. And
you know what? Here's what I know about Indiana. People have missed one of the most beautiful places in the world. Southern Indiana is not like northern Indiana.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. All right. You said you were just on radio or TV? What's cooking here? Or in magazines?
Oh, well, I was a cave guide at a famous cave in Indiana called Wyandotte Cave up until 2001, and the National Geographic came there and filmed us, and I got my picture and all that stuff in the National Geographic, and also they was Northwest News was down in Boonville, Missouri last week, and they actually talked to several of us guys that are Flint Knappers and talked about the craft of Flint Knapping and the impact that it has on the world of people learning primitive skills and how to knap and different types of materials. You know.
Now I have a very serious question to ask you, because you've been napping for how many years?
Well, I'm actually more of a bifacer. I can nap, but I don't nap like a lot of these guys do.
I understand the bifacing and buying and selling bifaces. So now that you've done that, I'm convinced that the prehistoric people were the first people that came up with swear words.
I believe that.
Okay, we're just making sure that we're all on common ground.
You know, the thing I always tell my customers is, if you want to be a Flint Knapper and you're afraid to bleed, you're not going to be a Flint Knapper. You'll bleed every day just Flint Knapping.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, this is great stuff. What's cooking here?
Well, we got a variety of material here. Like right here, we have Burlington chert. It's actually a form of crescent.
Burlington, is that Illinois stuff?
It is. Actually, it's Missouri.
Missouri, okay.
And that is raw Burlington. And then over here, the pink is cooked Burlington. And right here we have Dover chert.
Right down there?
This material right here.
Okay, Dover.
And it comes in different colors. It has black, and then it has a kind of a brown, gray
And
color.
what state are we finding this?
This is a Tennessee, but this also is a form of Fort Payne.
Okay.
Fort Payne is the variety of material and like the formation.
All right.
And so you can also find black Fort Payne in Alabama, Tennessee, maybe a little bit in Mississippi, right on the edge of Kentucky. You'll find some.
Okay, I have a million questions. That looks like obsidian over there. Is that what I'm seeing?
Actually, the orange with the black is mahogany obsidian. It's from Oregon. The solid red is pumpkin. That is also from Oregon, which is hard to get. And the more black color is dacite, but it's actually called black butter. Most dacite's more of a gray, but it's really a slick black.
Okay. Is this Harrison County chert right here?
That's a variety of different hornstone, Indiana hornstone, and Kentucky hornstone.
All right.
And some of it is Harrison County.
Okay.
We also have Flint River chert. This we call this kind of an orange and brown.
That's beautiful.
And this is from Albany, Georgia area, in that part of the world. And really awesome material. It's actually heat treated, and it chips really well.
How do I know that's heat treated?
Well, what happens is when you heat treat rock, usually when you get it out of the kiln, it'll kind of look kind of dull. But when you chip it, it'll have a waxy look to it.
Oh man, that is absolutely. That reminds me of Carter Cave.
Yeah, kind of.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Kind of.
Wow.
You see, it'll have a waxy look to it, and it'll be really smooth. But like hornstone is already waxy.
I'm going to just make a comment. You know what, you guys, out in your fields, and when we get on village sites, we call these a uniface blade
core.
And a lot of these get picked up, and they're being used, aren't they?
They were actually used as little knives.
Yeah.
Like I've skinned a deer with just a flake like that.
You got the hide off a deer?
Well, like I pulled their hide, and
okay.
you just take that membrane and then cut that off of there.
Okay.
And but a great little tool. I mean, so sharp that
Now those look like stuff we pick up in our streams in Ohio.
That is actually from Louisiana,
Oh no,
and
got Cajun flint here, huh?
yeah, that's a quartzite, and a guy broke one open earlier. There's actually banner stones made out of the same material. It's called phryginous quartz.
Oh gosh.
And this one actually I heat treated in a kiln that turned it brick red. But this is the natural color of it right here. More orange, but it has iron in it, so that made it turn red.
Yeah. Now we need to teach you Kentucky folk how to talk. No, it's iron.
Iron.
Okay, all right. You're right. We're wrong. What about this is looking a little bit like Ohio flint.
That is Coshocton.
Coshocton flint. Okay.
Some Coshocton in there, some Flint Ridge, and
now these a lot of these look like bifaces to me.
yeah,
Is
I
that
made
what?
all those little bifaces.
Okay, and some Flint Ridge. We saw that over at Roy Miller's booth here a few minutes ago. Is there anything that you would like? Whoa, what is this big stuff right here?
That is from Fort Hood. Back in the 90s, they used to allow us to go on Fort Hood and pick up rock. And then when 9/11 came along, they actually closed the military base.
Where's Fort Hood?
It's close to Clean, Texas.
Wow, you travel.
Oh, yes.
You make a living.
And then we got Novaculite from Arkansas. This is the same rocks that they make whetstones out of for sharpening your pocket knife.
All right, now I need to ask a question. I used to do a lot of beaver trapping and beaver snaring in Arkansas, down on the White River, and then from there down on the Bayou region. And I would find this, but it was kind of an orangey color.
Well, it can be. I mean, there's a pink one. See, it comes out, and it's because it's got iron in it.
It's beautiful. Boy, this is great stuff. One last thing that you'd like to say or share with people or whatever?
I'm having a Knap-In in southern Indiana the 13th and 14th of June, Father's Day weekend. I'd like to invite you to come. And it's in Leavenworth, Indiana at the Roadside Park, east of town on Highway 62, right across from the recycling center.
Okay.
So come out and see me. I have it every year on that date.
Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us visit. This is beautiful.
33 years.
Well done. We'll be back. Well, one of the things that we promised you would do is just meet a lot of people at the Knap-In, and you're going to see that people have come from everywhere and every walk of life. And one of the things that I cherish is looking at the work that some of these people have done. Currently, the young man that designed and did all this is not at his booth. But earlier I found out that he's been at this for 3 or 4 years. I want you to look at the work he's accomplished after 3 or 4 years. And he promised that he'd sell it at a very special price. So if you get down here today or tomorrow, you can check this out. Different flint from different places. A lot of this is Ohio flint. Coming across here, I love the Clovis. I love the fluted points. And this is why I encourage you guys to come, because you can pick up these points, these fluted pieces. You can ask them about the flute. How did they do this? And then you can actually look at the removed flake from the channel flake scar. You can get the flake, and you'll know what you're looking for in the fields when you're walking. But his Clovis material is really good. He did a very fine job. And these are really exciting. There's a veterinarian friend of mine in Columbus, Ohio, and he especially likes to collect these lances, which now we know are not paleo. Forever we thought these were paleo, but we finally got some carbon-14 dates, and now we know these are late Archaic, and these are great examples of that. Slipping on down this way, we've got a wide range of more Ohio material. Now there's stuff mixed in that's not Ohio. I'm going to bring this one over to you. This is a type of Flint Ridge flint, but you'll notice the parallel lines running through it, and this characterizes a specific area, Flint Ridge, that we call the Nethers area or the Nethers Farm. So when you find flint that has that in there, that's where it's from. Flint Ridge, Ohio, near Newark, just east of Newark, off the ridge where the old Nethers Farm is. Okay, so this is cool. And again, he's got bevels, all kinds of lances, lancelets. These are hammerstones that he picked up, found when he was out actually looking for flint to make preforms with. He said he was raking with a rake, and all of a sudden these things started rolling down the hill, and he looked at them, and they were all hammerstones. And then back here, come on around, we have his debitage, his work area. Now, why do I want to show you this? Because when people were working, if you've got a village site, if you've got a campsite, a very long enduring campsite, you're going to find debitage like that. Now he's actually working these down into points. And so you're going to get a lot of uniface flakes. Flakes can be turned into end scrapers, side scrapers. We have overshots here. We have rollovers here. This is great stuff to look through. And you can do that when you come to these Knap-Ins. You can pick these flakes up and ask them, how were these made? Tell me the story. So when you're out in your fields, you can begin to feel the heartbeat of the people who are actually napping and making your artifacts that you're finding in your field. Can you tell I'm getting excited? Oh boy. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to walk around. You're going to meet some more people. Okay, hi, we're back. As I mentioned, we wanted to walk around and meet some of these people that have invested not just their time, but their fingertips and their nose and their ears and their flint napping, but their hard work as well. And sometimes watching is a good teacher. So, and I'm going to call a couple things to your attention, because what we're doing over here is we're creating striking platforms. And so you see kind of an abrasion effect. And not every rock that you pick up in the field is a hammerstone. Some of these were used as abraders. And there's a difference, and you need to learn that difference. But I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, you're setting up striking platforms right now?
Yeah.
All right. And both of you
hit with percussion.
got it. That doesn't look like a rock to me.
Moose antler.
Moose antler.
Yep.
Okay.
Very old, beat up one.
Okay. Looks like you've used it a little bit.
Sandstone. Real fine sandstone that won't wear away and
Is
drop dust.
this your abrader?
Yes.
All right.
I'm also taking it across the edge and with pressure, chip in little flakes.
All right. Your opinion. When people are finding this little flaky stuff like that, are we looking at a campsite, a village site, or just someone sitting by a stream somewhere?
Depends on how small. If you see itty bitty little stuff, that could just be incidental, shattered stuff, or it could be some, like you have a real lithic scatter like this, but you're only seeing the little itty bitty stuff. But just seeing little stuff, that's not really diagnostic of
okay.
necessarily.
Sometimes there'll be flakes, and if it's by a campsite or something, a lot of times they'll be like fire cracked.
Okay, that helps.
And you know it's from a campsite.
All right. How many years you been at this?
Over 16.
Really?
I started when I was 14.
You still love it, right?
More than ever.
All right. And your material that you're working on?
It's a piece of Georgetown from Texas.
Wow, that looks so much like hornstone coming out of Indiana and Kentucky.
And I worked on it yesterday. You see the difference in the hydration of the flake I just took compared to dried out yesterday?
Now, are you from Ohio?
No, I'm from Michigan.
Michigan. Where we hunt, I hunt areas where we have a lot of paleo peep artifacts, and oftentimes we get these lateral flakes coming, to midsection and across. Mm-hmm. And we use that to kind of ID our paleo material that we find in Ohio. Is it the same way where you're from?
Yeah, it's
pretty much.
Yeah, Michigan doesn't have a lot of like a good flint resource, but you still find paleo points and stuff.
The lithics is pretty much the same where we go. Now I'm going to ask, I just learned something that I think is really significant. Yeah. And it's about breathing this stuff in your lungs. Can I ask you, are you okay on camera with that? Okay, well, I'm going to get over so they can hear you with my microphone. Thank you. And you shared something to me that is really important.
Yeah.
Because a lot of kids and young people want to start napping. So let's talk about that.
The silicosis. If you're napping, you want to make sure the wind is blowing across you or something to keep any of the particles from going into your lungs. That could be either volcanic glass, man-made glass, or just rock that's been heat treated. I don't know about the rock that doesn't take heat treating. I'd say it'd probably be the same way. It's like Kentucky hornstone. If you heat it, it'll fracture. So, like in Ohio, the rock they get, it's got to be heat treated. So it's different for different types of rocks, different types of heat treat. But yeah,
So you would say to people, with all things considered, was downwind. Don't be downwind of this stuff. Stay above wind.
yeah, especially if like a lot of dust is flying off to your right or left.
Can these little pieces, when you breathe them in, can they actually cut your lungs when they get in there?
I don't know if they cut your lungs, but I know you can get. I know a lot of people get lung infections from it.
Why don't people wear masks when they're napping out here?
Like he's wanting to tell you something over here.
Okay, we're going over here. Who wants to? What are you going?
Oh, I was gonna say, I think the silicosis, the problem is the tiniest pieces that are like smoke size,
Microscopic.
Okay.
smoke particle.
Okay.
So it's like
Minimal.
0.02 microns.
Got it.
I think, like
Got
2
it.
to 5, something. It's the same as smoke.
Okay.
When you look at air pollution forecasts.
Okay. Okay. In what state are you from?
Here.
You're from Ohio?
Yeah, from
This area. And what state are you from?
Kentucky.
Kentucky. All right. I think that your Flint, for most people in Ohio, is a bit of a mystery, and yet you have some of the most beautiful Flint I've ever seen down there.
Yeah, there's some pretty stuff. I haven't seen all of it, but yeah, there is some pretty rock.
I am amazed at the diversity of Carter Cave. All the colors.
Oh yeah.
They're just in one Flint type.
Yep. It's like what is the one? Fort Payne. I was out hunting a field one time, and I found I was walking along and seen something pink in the ground, and it was Fort Payne. And when it turns pink, they've heat treated it.
Okay. Pretty much the same with our Flint Ridge Flint.
Yeah.
It's an oxidation process that takes place.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing with all of us. Field Archaeology 101. All right. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you for what you're sharing like that. I had one last comment on your little stone right here. And can I borrow this?
Lake Erie Seashore.
Lake Erie. Okay, can I borrow your piece?
Yeah.
So I got a thought for both you guys. Huh? If you had a little tiny abrader like this in your hand, right here, and you're napping, and you need it, it's right here. Do you think that they probably did this to conserve time and space and energy?
Well, it's more about efficiency, because the stone works for either or, for grinding and or removing flakes.
Yeah, like I'm gonna end up like shaping a platform and also braiding with it.
Okay.
And I know that this is super fine, and it's gonna be the equivalent of like a little white diamond file that we use.
Hey, Tug, that guy you got the Carter Cave from?
Yeah, 1 second.
We'll be done here in a minute. This toolkit, by the way, is for a gentleman that can't make up his mind. No, I'm just kidding you.
Everything I own right here.
Oh,
so here's a really nice hammerstone, and it started off probably round, and it's flat because you can use this as a percussor, but then also use it as a grinding stone.
Okay.
So it's 2-in-1.
So when I talk about these, and we find them in our fields actually in Ohio, they're probably not quite as pronounced as this.
Yeah, that's a really worn out one.
But I call these geometrics. There's something that is beyond Mother Nature, that it's been touched by man and resculpted a little bit.
Obvious
like
effort in geometry.
Yeah. And so do you think when they were using this, they would kind of rotate it a little bit, or just worked out this way?
Well, it starts off whatever shape, and then just after continuously using it, you find a new spot on there that works.
How many hours? How many hours? Guess.
That one ain't mine. That's Ronnie's. He's probably had that for
1,000 hours chipping, working?
They will turn as you use them too.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll allow it. Other times I'll be forcing it downward.
Okay.
And rolling. Just depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
But yeah, same thing.
All right.
Scrunching, it's the equivalent of me using that sandstone. That's finer and harder. That's softer, so it's allowed it to shape. This would take forever.
Got it. Where are you headed with your preform? Are you going to take that to final stage, or are you going to go into an artifact from there?
Just thinning it, having fun. I saw someone sitting here. I mean, it's set up to be a dovetail or something.
All right. And let's look at this piece right here. Just a guess, how many hours to work this down into this?
Just probably had that for maybe a decade or so.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
All right. Guys, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. I enjoyed talking to both of you. Thank you. 101. Field Archaeology 101.
Okay, make sure you talk, because of that, talk to Jason. Big beard over here.
Jason.
He has some artifacts with him, and he walks fields a lot. He has a
Jason
great
the Big
collection.
Beard. What county does he?
What's Jason?
Okay.
Thank you so much. You too.
Who are you shooting for?
WHIZ.
Okay, I told you we're going to do a lot of hopping from booth to booth, and I wish that we could spend more time into the lives of people that made all these things. I'm laughing because when your father was holding you, my memory is my daughter wearing her diapers, bending over and picking up a hafted scraper in her diaper.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's really great. I have a, like I say, core memories. My father would take me and I'd be wrapped up in the raincoat when the rain would come, and I could only look down. Nothing else to do inside the raincoat. He would stop, and I would pick up,
I love
a
it.
point.
I love it. Building memories, and
Yeah.
dads need to do that, don't they? They need to spend time. Okay, I'm Mark Hirschman.
Jason Green, like
Jason.
color.
Okay, and you're from?
I grew up in Fairfield County, Pickerington, Ohio.
And you live where now?
I live in Groveport now.
Oh, okay, all right. You had a couple points here that were interesting. Can you tell us what those two were and what the history is on those two?
Well,
Come on in.
There's a publication, a book. It's called Story in Stone, written by Dave Waldorf and illustrated by his wife Valerie, who has since passed. These two are in that publication. This is a Cobb's knife. It's from Noble County. It's some really strange material.
Did your dad find this?
My dad found this. I don't remember the date.
And this?
And this also,
Damn.
Dad found.
Wow.
But it's nice. So Dad had his transcendence in 2020, and I think about him every time I'm out looking. I have the things that he found on top of a lot of the points I've found. I've walked a lot of miles.
Okay. So all these are field finds of you and your father?
Yes, sir.
And you have been hunting in the fields for how many years?
At least 30.
You're giving away your age.
I know.
That doesn't look like 30 years to me.
At least 30 years.
And your dad hunted how many years before that?
I would have to say
a lifetime?
45, a lifetime.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Talk about, this is incredible stuff. What are we looking at here?
Well, this is in support of my fellow nappers. These are all, new, kind of fanciful things that we wish we could find out in the fields.
Looks like you got some Ed Moreland and
a little bit of everybody.
and Roy Miller.
It's in support of my fellow artists. Maybe one day I can aspire to be that good. You have to have inspiration. This is my dream board. I mean, I've made a couple in here, but I just really love it. I'm addicted to this whole lifestyle.
I am too. I love it.
And it really is a lifestyle.
Tell me about your booth, real quick. What you got?
Well, I've got. I'm an arborist by day.
You're a what?
An arborist.
Explain what that is.
Take care of trees.
Trees. Okay.
Arboriculture, and I like to turn bowls. They're interesting. I just like to make things pretty in nature that are already there. This spiky piece of red elm, and
now red elm is a harder wood than
it is.
Yeah.
It is. But it's just really cool. I mean, it's already there. The beauty's in the nature.
Man, well done. Wow. Okay, and these are points that you made, or something?
Yep, I have made all of these out here.
Alrighty.
All different shapes, sizes, colors.
Okay, well, point out your stuff to us. Let's take a look.
Over here's some nicer, colorful stuff. We can just open them up so we don't have any glare. Get a shot of some of these. This is hours of fun too.
This is ours
Yes,
of you.
yes. This is this. You know, I've done all of these. A lot of guys like to display with the debitage next to the piece, kind of proving that you worked the stone. I'd like to spin the tale of these are arrowhead seeds. If you buy this piece from me today and you bury these 1,500 to 3,000 years, somewhere in between, you'll have an arrowhead there.
Okay, all right. Now you guys look at his nose because it's getting very long right now. I love it. Thank you so much. This is stellar. I've not seen anybody do this, but it brings you right back to the hard work and the artisan that did it. This is good.
I really love it.
I hope more people do this.
Oh, there's a lot of guys that do it.
Do it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And these all back here are yours also?
Well, this is a frame of finders, various times.
What does that mean, finders?
Authentic, found in the fields.
Holy moly!
Surface finds. My wife found this piece.
Oh gosh!
It's a piece of nethers. It's the first. I took her to this site, and that's I had hunted that site for 20 years, and she comes out of there with that. So I had to marry her.
Oh jeez, I love it. Yeah. Kudos to you. How about, and then these are yours over here too?
Not all of them, no. Yeah, I made this piece. This is Dan Toyce or Theus from Texas, Dr. Dan, real talented guy. And this is a Gurzian knife. It's an Egyptian artifact. And various other lithic artists.
Well, let me ask you this. You've been coming to this for a while, right?
Yes.
Have you seen people from other states?
People from all over the world. People from Israel, Brazil,
have been here napping.
California have been here napping.
All right.
From Netherlands,
California.
California, Mexico. I still think this is the largest
Knap-In?
Knap-In in the country.
Wow. You heard it from the man, and we are grateful for your time. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you so much.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Wipe it off. Oh, yeah. Got to have some abrasion dust on there to make things work right. Trust me, 35 years of doing this, these things are important. They're little, but they're important. Right on going around this base. All right, now you're going to see me do something else. Yes. Rolling the billet in. It's called grinding in a platform. Bad habits, but they're quick. So when I'm doing this, I want to show you something. You see, I got this much room. That's an isolated percussion platform. Exactly what that is. On a ridge. Doesn't have to be a long ridge out there. It'll help thin that base out.
Oh boy. Thank you. This is fun. This is going to seem like a little break in the continuity of what we've been shooting today. But things happen. We're human. We err. We make mistakes. And then there's mechanical failures, which we had. But we had a segment that was too cute to lose. So what's going to happen is I'm going to do some of the voice, and then you'll see a segment of no voice. And I hope you can bear with it, because it's what it's about, people. It's father, son, passing the torch from dad to his son, which all of us want to do, pass the torch for field walking. So basically what you're going to look at is dad, Jake from Dresden, Ohio, and son Wesson. And you two, I apologize with all my heart that we lost your sound, but I want to tell your story. So dad with his 9-year-old son, and they've been walking, and Wesson, you had a little point there, and everybody's going to see it in a minute. And that little point that you had is an archaic side notch. And then you had a preform first stage that just didn't work. And then I can't even remember what the other thing was that you had. But just grateful that you brought your stuff. The rock that you found is what we all find in the fields. But what was peculiar was that you're finding it in a high use area. And one side of it, you saw that one side was dark, one side was light. And you even called it out that it could be possibly in or near a fire pit. I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. You were correct. Good for you. And Dad, I can't thank you enough for bringing them. So Jake, you brought two pieces that everybody's going to see in a minute. And the one looks like a giant salami with a rubber band that's been wrapped around it. It's a beautiful portrayal of you don't have to know what things are, people, when you're walking, to be able to recognize something as an artifact. What Jake found is a color, shape, size, texture. It just lined up with everything, but there's pecking all the way around the circumference of the middle. Both ends, both polar ends show a little bit of pecking. The question is, what do we have? And what I tried to do on the video was show the pecking that took place after they polished. So it shows the process. It shows that what we have is complete. It just wasn't done yet. But you did the right thing, Jake. I congratulate you for picking it up and bringing it. And then you had something else. And this is where you people, me, we all got to get out of our comfort zone and go past what we know. And I think it's real easy to find something and say, this is this, and we write everything else off. I'm not going to do that. He held up and said, is this a celt? And I thought, yeah, it's a type of celt, but yet it's not a celt. Perhaps a kind or a type. And so what you're going to notice on this thing is that it's fat. It's intentionally made that way. It's got a wide bit. And I told him, I said, I think this reminds me of a wedge that I use when I split wood. You know, small crack, you put it in, you tap it. I said, let's look at the pole. So we looked at the pole, and sure enough, just a lot of flat level pounding on that thing. So I want to say we have a wedge. I place it under the umbrella that I call a celt type tool. You might even put a chisel in underneath that as a group of types of celts. So that's what you're looking at. You're looking at a dad loving on his son big time. The two of them are so excited. And Jake, I feel horrible, but I'm so grateful you watch our channel. And everybody just sit back, relax, and just look at what these two brought together, but the love of dad and son, okay? See you in a minute.